Welcome back to Chris Wrestling Views, you guys. So it looks like Uncle Howdy has finally made his return back to WWE TV. We knew what was going on with Bo Dallas and his father and everything. Of course, he had to take a lot of time off away from TV, but it looks like he's back. So maybe the Friday leading into Saturday night's main event. I sent him. The Saturday that's leading into Survivor Series is where the Wyatt Six may attack. So, of course, Sami Zayn came out there and said he wants to fight Solo Sikoa for all the trash he's been talking. And, of course, right there, you guys, we ended up getting, of course, like Ray Phoenix and Shinsuke and a couple of others, you guys. Of course, you've seen... seen Solo Sikoa there furious with Nick Aldis about what happened out there in the ring of them shining up the MFTs and all that stuff. But anyways, you guys, Zack Ryder was the mystery opponent for who was it? LA Knight. LA Knight, it seems like he's going back to like a heel side, honestly, you guys, or that's just like his personality. But with that being said, you guys, Zack Ryder, he, of course, the last time we seen him in WWE, he was kind of like a scrawny looking like dude. But now, of course, he's jacked. And of course, on the indie scene, you guys, he was definitely putting in some work. And, he's been gone for like WWE from like 5.5 years. Michael Cole or Corey Graves said on commentary. But of course, it was a no-brainer that LA Knight was going to actually win this. And so it looks like we're going to do either LA Knight versus Jey Uso or LA Knight more than likely versus like Rusev or something like that. But we'll definitely see what's going to happen. And the last two people, I think it may be just be Jey Uso versus Gunther in the finals. But then again, a lot of us wants to see Sheamus actually win this. So with that being said, you guys, Jey Uso did defeat The Miz in his qualifying match for the Last Time Is Now tournament. And so he will, of course, go on. And like I said, I'm thinking he is going to fight Gunther in the last part of it, or however they're going to do it. We're definitely going to see. Of course, you guys, The Miz, he ended up doing the You Can't See Me thing, and the crowd was really behind The Miz, which caught me by surprise. And, of course, Nick Aldis, he got ready to mention, the next two matches for Friday Night Smackdown next week. One of the matches, you guys, ended up being Penta versus Finn Balor. Now, we know this match is definitely going to be a 5-star match, you guys, with these two right here. We've seen them compete on Raw, but just imagine them one-on-one without any interference or anything like that, you guys. So let's see what's going to happen next Friday. Of course, you guys, Big Bronson Reed versus Carmelo Hayes. What's going to happen in this match? Not sure. More than likely, I think Carmelo Hayes is going to advance, and he's going to win his match. And, but other match, I got to give a little bit more thought into it. John Cena, you guys, this Monday is going to be his final Raw. Who is he going to fight? Will he give Dominic his title rematch, or however that's going to happen? Of course, John Cena, your Intercontinental Champion. I know it's definitely going to be something very interesting and a sight to see. And we all heard the news, you guys, that Smackdown on January the 2nd is going back to 3 hours. Like, maybe this is where you call up some talent, like from, NXT or however, but it's very confusing. But you guys, we kicked off the show with, Charlotte, Alexa, Io, and Rhea Ripley. Of course, Charlotte ends up walking away, you guys, saying that she can't trust Rhea for anything. She said she had to tell Alexis she got to stop pretending, and that she just really can't do that. But of course, they ended up getting attacked backstage by Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, and Nia Jax. And so that beatdown was real wild, you guys, especially with seeing how Io got laid out once again. I was like, God dang. But of course, there, you guys, I definitely feel like Charlotte may come in to help them out or however. But I think they still need one more person, maybe. I can't remember. But of course, you guys, comment down below who you think should join this team. Will Charlotte return back to join his team, or will they get somebody else? We'll definitely have to see, you guys. So yeah, of course, you guys, Ilya Dragunov ended up doing his match against Axiom from, y'all remember him from NXT. And of course, we definitely did thought Axiom was gonna actually win this title. He hit like a backflip, and then he landed it kind of like into a catching kind of like DDT thing. So he flipped back, grabbed the neck, you guys, of Ilya Dragunov. And Ilya, you guys, couldn't even stand. It looked like he was concussed or something. And I was like, God dang. But yeah, you can see how that impact was. That was like after he hit the backflip. And then he freaking stood up on his head. And I was like, God dang, I know that had hurt. So you guys, with that being said, I would like to see Axiom actually win this. But they're still, leaning toward the fact of they want to have him, Ilya Dragunov versus Tommaso Ciampa. So we're definitely going to see how that is going to go as well, you guys. We thought Tommaso Ciampa was going to come out, and attack Ilya, because, we're going to see who next. They didn't do the thing of, like, who's going to come out next, and they just pretty much had to, like, backstage, like, okay, Fraxium, stepping up. So I'm like, well, that's some bull. So, of course, you guys, Ilya, of course, retained his title. He ended up hitting the, I think they call it like a torpedo or something, but like pretty much the running headbutt, and then, and then the H-Bach, I think that's what he calls it. But this was all before the match, you guys, of Tommaso Ciampa demanding that he gets a match with Ilya Dragunov. Of course, Chelsea Green was backstage, and she's gonna have a women's United States Championship match next week on Friday Night Smackdown. I can't remember if they said who or not, but we'll definitely have to see, you guys. And of course, Jade Cargill, you guys, did a pretty much a 3-minute squash match with B-Fab. I thought that Bianca was gonna come out there, but of course, you guys, I was wrong. And with that said, of course, she got hit with the Jaded. We did see Mia, not Mia Yim, Meechin come out there and, was checking on BFAB. And, of course, that's where Jay was, like, pointing the finger, into the face of Meechin. So maybe they'll fight on Friday Night SmackDown next week. Of course, you got Nick Aldis, was looking at the contract. And it was pretty much Paul Heyman saying that he get to choose any member off the roster. And all the good stuff, you guys. But of course, that's where Cody Rhodes ends up walking up, you guys, and pretty much saying that, if that he wants to fight Bronson Reed want to fight him, and Bronson Reed wanted him to put that title on the line for the main event match. I was wondering what's going to be the main event, but they kind of kept it a little bit later in the show. Jimmy Uso, of course, you guys say if you need, another man to your team, I'm in. And of course, you can see Jimmy not really happy about it, Jay is not really happy about it or anything. So there's a lot of storytelling going on, you guys. Of course, during the main event, Braun Breaker ends up coming out of nowhere, like with the running shoulder tackle, you guys. So I was like, well, dang. And of course, we got the numbers game. We had even Drew McIntyre push. Looks like it was Jimmy. He pushed him off the top rope, and I was like, oh God. So it looks like we'll get Roman on one side, and then Brock Lesnar on the other side, and so to do the 5-on-5 kind of like match thing. But we're gonna see, you guys. So it's gonna happen. Here on Monday Night Raw this upcoming week in Madison Square Garden. Of course, I know that's going to be something big, something very entertaining. Braun Breaker Spirit Jey Uso through the table that was stood up in the corner. And I was like, man, this is real crazy. So, of course, that's the way they wrote it off to show you guys. Rating on this show right here, I'll have to give it probably like a 7 out of 10. Nothing really interests me, you guys. But it was cool, like I said, to see Zack Ryder and all that good stuff. But, well, Matt Cardona, but they called him Zack Ryder when he appeared on TV. See you guys later. Peace out. Have a great day.